right here on the Muskegon Channel. Andy O'Reilly, Dave Cackley. It's a Friday. However about that. Yes.
Thank God.
Wake up.
Done with this week, man.
Kind of stroll out of bed there about, let's see, what was it, about 10 to 8? I know. So, and then as I saunter out of the bedroom, past the TV, which was on all night very nicely, I turn the corner to walk out of the bedroom, and I glance out the far window there in our TV room, and I see the top of the carport with a nice glaze of snow over the top of it, and I think to myself, that sucks.
Yeah. I thought this does not bother me. As long as it's not really affecting the road, I don't care. Like, the roads are all just wet, so, like, people were really, really concerned.
I know,
we're going to get a lot of accidents. Nah.
It's, well, the ground isn't frozen yet.
Right, exactly.
That's the thing, yeah. But you remember that feeling of when you were a kid and you saw that first snow?
Oh, it was great. It was awesome. You loved it.
Now, it's like, you've got to be kidding me.
It's like you're thinking of the just death knell of the next 6 months, which is what it is. It's like 6 months of just gray.
Not it's even a spark inside of me of
grayness. Yeah.
Ooh, a winter's morn.
Yeah, I don't. It's one of those things where it just makes me really appreciate Netflix all the more. It really does. I just finished up The Ranch. I'm waiting for the new season of that to come out because I just binge watched that over the last week. Oh, it's got Ashton Kutcher. It's got the last man on the planet, the last real man, Sam Elliott.
Oh,
and then it had Danny Masterson, but then they had to basically remove him from the show, and he won't be in the next season because he was part of the hashtag Me Too.
I don't know who that is.
In trouble. Danny Masterson. He was on That 70s Show. He played Hyde. He wore the sunglasses. It's like there's a lot of former that 70s show. Not a lot. There's a few former That 70s Show cast members in this show. But it's Deborah Winger's in it, who has aged very well at the age of, I think she's 63.
Love me some Deborah Winger. Very pretty. You know what her first role was?
Was it Little Darlings? I don't know.
Supergirl.
She was even in that. She was in Supergirl?
No.
Really?
Wonder Woman Jr. or whatever it was.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, she was like
Deborah Winger?
She was like she was an offshoot of the Wonder Woman show.
Oh, okay.
That was her first thing. I'm going to recommend one for you on Netflix.
Yeah.
And it might be a little bit above you because you're kind of a meathead. And you like, simpleton things. But I want you to go watch a documentary on Netflix called God Knows Where I Am. I would very much be into that, I'm sure. It's remarkable.
What's it about?
What's it about?
Yeah.
It's how do I tell you without giving it away? All right. It's about a woman who got discharged from a mental hospital.
Okay.
She found her way into an abandoned farmhouse. She lived there for like 6 months on nothing but apples. And the entire time she lived there, nobody knew she was there.
Wow.
And as her life deteriorated and her mental condition got worse, she journaled the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah, she wrote down every day what was going on in her mind, and yada yada yada.
That fascinates me.
It's remarkable. And when they finally found her, they thought it was a suicide, and then they found these journals, and they go back and they retell her story through these journals of the last 6 to 8 months of this woman's life. It's fascinating.
Wow.
It's really a remarkable.
That's very interesting.
Watch that.
Yeah. I mean, I got so much Netflix stuff. I'm on right now season 6 of what was the show Kevin Spacey just got kicked off of? Another Me Too casualty. The political show. It's great. I'm forgetting the name. I'm blanking on the name. Yeah. But yeah, I'm blowing through that right now. I just started that. That's got Diane Lane. Speaking of another woman who's aged well, Diane. Oh, good Lord Almighty, I like her. Oh, jeez. Anyway, so yeah, I got a lot lot and
there you go. That's your homework assignment for the weekend. Watch something intelligent for a change.
I always watch intelligent things.
No,
always. I am the definition of highbrow.
No, you're not. You watch men rolling around on a football field, slapping each other on the ass all weekend.
Yeah, but look, man, just because I'm a man with testosterone coursing through my veins,
that's not it.
Yes, I enjoy the great American sport.
You wait for the fanny pats, and that's okay. I don't judge.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Let's get into it. The gunman who killed a dozen people at a California bar has been identified. Ian David Long was a 28-year-old veteran with the U.S. Marine Corps. Long reportedly served in Afghanistan. Officers responded to a disturbance at his home back in April. A crisis team believed he was suffering from post-traumatic stress. Now, this was a situation where they apparently, at that time, this happened last March, decided not to detain him after they talked to him for a while. Now, you can't hold a guy for that long anyway.
No.
I mean, if he's not seen to be a danger to himself or others, you can hold him for, I think, like 48 hours maybe. But once again, you can't defend against this. People want to say, what can we done? We need mental health. We need gun control. We need all these different things. And I'm not saying those are, but you're not going to stop somebody who doesn't care what happens to them. I mean, this guy guns down a bunch of people and then kills himself. And I think it was Adam Carolla was talking about this the other day. And he had what I thought was a fascinating theory about all roads lead to narcissism. And it used to be back in the day when somebody would like be really upset or depressed, or they're going through something traumatic, they would off themselves. But now a lot of these people, a lot of these same type of people make a decision. They want to go out in a blaze. They're like, before I end my meaningless life, I'm going to gun down a bunch of people.
Right.
And it's one of those things like, before I go, I want people to know who I am. Yeah. And that's the one thing I think you just that gets lost in all this, lost in the mental health, lost in the gun control stuff. It's this is meaningless. I want to be known before I go. And I think,
there's the gun control thing has been argued to ad nauseum, and that's just never going to change.
Right.
The mental health stuff, dude, if you think there's not a problem with mental health issues in the treatment of them in this country, guess again.
Oh, there absolutely
because it is. I mean, it's a true crisis, and I'm going to tell you what, it's exacerbated by what people see and hear in their daily lives. And we talked about it a little bit yesterday, and you know, the bravado and the chest puffery and all the other stuff that you hear and see on social media.
Yeah. Oh,
you know what? It resonates. And you brought up the fact yesterday that in person-to-person conversations, we really don't change and all that other kind of stuff. But in the dual world of, interpersonal communication and what we see and hear on social media and all that kind of stuff, there's some pretty blurry friggin' lines at this point. So that's what I'm trying to get at yesterday is what I'm saying is that, this national dialogue that we've got somehow all of a sudden where it's okay to be a little more pushy and it's a little bit okay to be, more assertive and all this other kind of stuff. We've lost that human quality to say, how can I help you? What can I do to take care of what's bugging you, or that kind of thing. And it's all like, well, you're not tough enough, so screw you. So that's what I'm getting at yesterday when I'm talking about this demeanor that we seem to have gotten ourselves into as a country, and it doesn't help our mental health issue at all.
I think there's a fair point to be made with the social media and the fact that so many people there is a subset of the population. We talk about how we both agree that it is true. People haven't changed how they interact with people on a face-to-face, on a person-to-person basis. But there is that subset group that lives almost their entire life on social media.
Sure.
Where that's all the interaction they have, and then they go out and then they go do whatever. So I do agree to that point. But I don't think it's it
goes a little further too, because not only is it on social media, they watch TV and they hear it and they see it through the news and they hear it and see it through the media and all this other kind of stuff. So it's a pretty immersive experience right now when it comes to this kind of pushy attitude, and it permeates people. It really does.
But here's the thing: is there's no way to defend against that. There really.
I never said there was.
Because it becomes a freedom of speech issue. You got an issue. You can do. I mean, there are so many factors in this. Yeah. But like I said, at the end of the day, you can't, other than having your head on a swivel, you can't defend against somebody who wants to do this.
Right.
And with social media, the way social media is, we can't disinvent the genie's out of the bottle. You're not going to disinvent this.
No.
You can't. It's just going to get more and more and more and more. It just is. And like I said, the narcissism. I think the one thing without question is people are definitely more narcissistic than they used to be. It's about me. It's all about me. It's all about how this affects me, how I'm feeling. It's about my feelings on it. I have an opinion on this, and I am going to shout it from the highest rooftops, and that's usually on social media. So, and people are just becoming unhinged. They're just unhinged, and they're probably going to get crazier. And I may be blowing this out of proportion. I may be wrong. Maybe people were crazier in the 15, 16, 1700s. I don't know. I wasn't there. So,
right.
It's you just kind of hold on to your hat sometimes. Anyway, we're going to downshift. We're going to downshift away from that craziness. Well, this is still kind of crazy. Congratulations to Meg Ryan and the artist formerly known as John Cougar. Meg Ryan announced the couple is getting married.
Aww.
Yeah, I chose this for my second story. Ryan made the announcement on her Instagram account. They have dated on and off since 2011. This is the second marriage for Meg Ryan, who was, of course, married to Dennis Quaid for about a decade. It's the former John Cougar, now, of course, John Mellencamp's fourth trip to the altar. And from all accounts, I mean, Mellencamp is just a completely insufferable douchebag. So,
that's what I hear.
I don't hear much. I don't hear a lot of good things. Meg Ryan, of course, was with Dennis Quaid back when Dennis Quaid was having some issues of his own at the time, which a lot of these people, come on, actresses and actors and musicians, for the most part, are basket cases. Okay, there's really not, I mean, they're just, speaking of narcissism, I mean, you're not going to get much more narcissistic than rock stars and actors and actresses, aside from maybe athletes. But I guess I wish them the best. I give it half a decade, maybe, or maybe,
right.
They're both older now. I mean, Meg Ryan's in her 50s. Mellencamp's got to be 60, early 60s.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Favorite Meg Ryan movie?
That's an interesting. I like, honestly. This is going to surprise you. You've Got Mail with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I really enjoyed that one. I thought she was sweet in that. She was that was a perfect Meg Ryan, Tom Hanks. It was just a nice movie. You couldn't say it was a great movie. It was just nice. Go ahead.
I got a better one. Joe versus the Volcano. She was awesome in Joe versus the Volcano. And the undertone of that whole movie. I never saw
all of that.
Joe versus the Volcano, dude, is
one of it got such horrible reviews.
Terrible reviews, but the undertone message of the whole thing is just remarkable. Love that movie. Love it.
I may have to revisit.
Yes,
I may revisit Joe versus the Volcano.
And let me give you a quick John Mellencamp story. Saw him twice. The first time was at the Orbit Room after he had the heart attack, and he came out and he played cover songs all night long, and it was just at the end of the night, it was like, you got to be kidding me. Another crap cover song. And then he finally busted into a few of his own tunes, and the place just exploded. Yep. And it was a big secret. He came under the name Pearl Doggy was the name of the band that they toured under. Then it leaked out that it was Mellencamp, and he was doing a couple of rehab shows at the Orbit Room, blah, blah, blah. The first night I went, and I'm on my way home, right? And I called the radio station, and I'm like, hey, it was the greatest show ever. And he played the call back, and the only thing I didn't say in the call was, I am drunk as a bucket and I'm driving a green Honda up East Beltline back to Sparta. Come pull me over. That's the only thing I didn't say. I listened to myself back on the radio. Anyway, and then the second time I saw him was at Van Andel Arena, and he had Donovan there with him as the opening act. I could have killed him. I hate Donovan. I hate every song Donovan's ever played. I tried to miss the opening thing, but the way it worked out was that Mellencamp came out, and it was like a blended show. So Mellencamp played a little bit, and then Donovan got a set, and then Mellencamp came out and played again. So I had to sit through every godforsaken Donovan song I ever heard. I'm a fish under the sea, and every other stupid song I hate Donovan. Oh.
That's funny.
Anyway, next story.
Lumberjacks back in action at LC Walker Arena. Jacks take on Youngstown tonight and tomorrow. Puck drop for both games at 7:15. So you got a busy weekend, man.
I'll be there.
Of course, we got Ohio State, Michigan State tomorrow at noon. That's a noon kickoff at the Horseshoe. Michigan will take on Rutgers, and Lions Bears on Sunday afternoon in Chicago. That's
Have yourself a great weekend, and we'll see you back here Monday.
Bye-bye.